Welcome back to another Alliance War. This is the third war of Season 6 and the final war before the standings for Season 6 actually come through. We're going up against Core, Champions of the Realm Elite. Going to go ahead and pop on a round of boost as per usual. Got a 10% attack boost, and for the health and champion boost, going to pop a little bit of a beefier boost here. Going with the graders on this one since I still have a decent supply of them, and this path is looking kind of tough. Got a couple of 565s lined up here. Alright, so this first fight is going to be a 5-star mutant champion, and I already know that this is going to be Iceman. If you're not sure how I know it's going to be Iceman, then check out my Scatter Lens video that I just made. And I am going to go ahead and pop on an invulnerability boost for this fight as well, or not really for this fight, but before I get into the fight, that is, just for the follow-up fights, and I had an invulnerability in the overflow, so figured let's go ahead and pop that sucker on. Alright, so Iceman with Stark Spidey. I mean, this fight is going to be very quick here. Got class advantage, got the 3 poise charges to start things out from the blade synergy. Not really looking to build up any poise charges. I know I don't need to. I just need to get some clean 5-hit combos in, and yeah, 3 5-hit combos and a special 1. That's all it takes to take down Iceman. Alright, so moving on, we have a 565 MODOK. And I know this is MODOK because of that persistent charge, plus it's Bane stun immune, and MODOK is always on this node. So I know it's MODOK. And going in here with Void, of course. And this fight gets a little bit sketchy. It starts out decently well enough, where I get Bane transferred onto him relatively early without taking too much chip damage. And the first transfer is always kind of the trickiest one, getting it off of myself this first time here. You could see the Bane sticking for 1,083 on myself, so it wasn't on for all that long, but those few seconds were enough to deal a massive amount of damage. There are ways to kind of time things out a little bit better here if you hesitate before you take down his shields, but it gets a little bit tough. Alright, you're going to see a big error coming up here, though. I'm going to attack into him to get that shield down, and then try to bait out a heavy attack, but he doesn't throw it. He throws an ending medium, so I try to punish that instead. Yeah, I was a little too slow, I suppose, so I got parried. He threw the special 1, though, instead of hitting me with a regular hit, and because there was that slight delay on him throwing a special 1, it gave me enough time to get out of the stun, since I'm running maxed out Limber, which is why maxed out Limber offensively is amazing. And as a result of that, I was able to evade it and transfer Bane back over to him and survive the fight. Alright, next node, 24. Limber, Buffet, Recovery, healing up Void because I know this is going to be a Domino. 565 Domino. I've taken this fight several times with Void. It's always a sketchy fight, to some degree at least. But, I've got a lot of experience with this fight. You're going to see a bunch of mistakes, though. You can kind of tell right away that my game is a bit off here. Because, watch this. Normally when I'm unlucky, I hold my special. And here, I just kind of threw it instinctually. I knew it wasn't going to stick. I knew it wasn't going to stick. There's only a 50% chance that it will when you're unlucky like that, but I threw it anyway. The thing is, guys, I was feeling kind of off. Not trying to make excuses, but I just really wasn't, I don't know, man. Just, you have one of those days where you're just not on your A game, right? That's kind of what was going on here. So I'm getting backed up against the wall already. She's not throwing her specials. 2 of my indestructibles are gone, and I'm thinking, oh man, I don't have it in me to evade these specials like this. I kind of just go for it, hoping that she wouldn't go lucky, hoping that I wouldn't go unlucky. But of course, both of those things happened. And yeah, she hits me with a special 3. I'm just hoping to not get a critical bleed since I had that invulnerability. And nope, critical bleed, 6,030 damage per tick. And I get melted so fast. I knew my chances of survival there weren't great, but I don't know, man. I think I psyched myself out because, like I said, I wasn't really playing well all night. I lost my arena streak before joining this war. And it was during a stream, so I'm thinking, that was probably just because I was streaming. And I did like some practice fights and stuff like that after the stream, but I knew it just wasn't it's just one of those nights. And yeah, I guess I probably psyched myself out mentally more than anything. Alright, at this point, though, I know I'm going back in with Stark Spidey. I actually took a bunch of time after that fight just to practice with Stark Spidey versus Domino. This is a fight that I've been slowly practicing over time. I'm just really not that comfortable with Stark Spidey is the thing. Like, I know Stark Spidey is probably a better option for taking out Dominoes. Probably a more consistent option, but I mean, that thing is, that's my first death to a Domino with Void in Alliance War ever. I mean, first off, it's my first death in about 20 wars in a row, 20 season wars in a row, roughly, since I went deathless last season, and the season before that, I died, but it was like early on into the season. So, I'd taken many a Domino with my Void. Yeah, this time I knew I had to go back in with Stark Spidey. It wasn't really a choice, because if I went back in with the Void, in order to heal him up, that would have been like the last of my items for this war. I would have popped basically all 15 of my items. So I go ahead and throw on the tech boost. Just want to get to an L2. That way I can just kind of cycle the L2s to take her down. I pop a regen boost here. I was debating between the power boost and the regen boost. And I was thinking, well, I don't think I really need to start with a bar of power because it's going to take some time to build up poise anyway. So I go with the regen, and I'm thinking I can carry this regen not only through this fight to stay above 50% health, but into the next fight as well, in order to continue kind of saving those items, because I'm very concerned about iteming out. Anytime I die with a Void, that's like my first concern is like, alright, do I have enough items to get through this war? And I don't mean items in my stash. I mean, out of the 15 you're allowed to use in war, do I have enough? But alright, anyway, go back in here with Stark Spidey, and trying to build up these poise charges as best I can. Trying not to do too many hits in a row, because of course that's how you lose the poise, by getting the taunt on Domino, but at the same time I want the taunt on Domino so that way she throws her specials. So it's kind of this weird balance that I'm trying to do here. She's not really throwing them. Again, a little bit concerned. Finally she does throw the L2. Pretty happy about that. I've got a decent number of poise charges, so I just go ahead and pop the L2. I figured it'd give me enough power, and it did. And at this point, I didn't evade that special because I didn't want to trigger the healing, but I realized afterwards that I was going to dexterity anyway to get that opening, so I probably should have just evaded it. But in any case, it works out. I hit her with 2 more back-to-back L2s, and she does go down. So Domino down, but of course I did get my first death of the season, and like I said, first death in about 20 wars or so. So I was pretty sad about that, but what are you going to do? I knew I wasn't going to go deathless forever. We got a Kingpin mini-boss up next, and just going to heal up. Actually, I'm not going to heal up because I know this is my last fight. I'm going to be out of energy after this fight, and I still have a regen boost active, so I'm not going to heal up at all. Just going to let that regen boost heal me. I'm still above 30k HP at this point, and it's just a Kingpin. This is a fight that's, although technically I've died to Kingpin on this node before, it's a fight that I normally wouldn't die to. So yeah, just let that regen boost do its thing. Just trying to build up some poise charges, of course. Start out this fight before I go into a baiting out his heavy strategy. I didn't want to get backed up. I didn't want to get backed up all the way against the wall, so I started baiting them out a little bit early before I get to my 10th poise charge. And yeah, now it's just time to go to town on this dude. Don't want to. I don't want to try auto-evading those specials, just because he goes into his overpower mode, even though I was trying not to. That's kind of what happened anyway. But I do hit him with a special 2. Still have the power boost active, so I'm close to a special 2 again. One more 5-hit combo into a special 2. It's going to take this guy down. And there we go. Kingpin is down. Alright. So, next fight. At this point, I have to reboost, so I'm going to go ahead and heal up before I reboost. I was trying to do a lot of planning and figure out if I needed to heal up Void for this war. And I was thinking, no, I'm just going to go at it with Stark Spidey. It really would take like all of my potions to go with Void, and there's no real reason to do that. I only have 2 more fights left, and I'm going to let somebody else take the mini-boss just to really conserve items. So it's just a Green Goblin mini-boss anyway, a boss that I've taken a million times. and one that I could have taken with Stark Spidey too, but he had a 565 Void anyway, and he was already on the path as a backup anyway. So, but anyway, this next fight is Aggression, Armor, Explosive Personality, and it is a 5-star skill champion that ends up being Black Panther Civil War. And just trying to build up a few poise charges to start things out. Not looking to get too many. Don't want to get backed up against the wall here. Just needed those 7 or so. That was plenty enough. I'm just gonna bait out heavies from this point. Don't want to try to do any cutesy moves. Don't want to do any intercepting. Nothing like that. Get backed up against the wall a little bit there, but that's all right. When he throws his heavy, you do have time to kind of get an attack in after that first hit. It's a little bit easier, in my opinion, than evading both of those attacks. Sometimes that second hit will end up clipping me. Hit the L2, and boom, Black Panther Civil War goes down. Okay, next fight. We've got a 6-star Unawakened Mutant Champion. And I'm guessing that this is going to be a Nightcrawler. And it is going to be a Nightcrawler. Once we get into the fight, you're going to see. And yeah, against Nightcrawler, I mean, luckily there's no limber on this node, so I'm pretty much in the clear just to, you know, get some parry stuns and get a couple of attacks in if I want to. Of course, I'm going to try to do the switch trick against him, but you're going to see he ends up playing this pretty aggressively. He's not super aggressive in the beginning, and I probably had a window to switch him at some point here, but he does end up getting pretty aggressive throughout this fight, to the point where, you know, I was up against the wall and kind of missed my window of opportunity to get an easy switch. And at this point, you know, I'm still okay. I don't mind evading Nightcrawler up against the wall like this so much. I'm getting poise charges the whole time, and there's no limber on this node, like I said, so I already know that, okay, it's not the end of the world that I couldn't get him to switch. Let's just get some regular clean 5-hit, or not 5-hit combos, but, you know, let's get a few hits in here wherever I can. And I get it up to an L2 with near max poise charges. Hit him with that L2. He's almost down. Just need one more parry, and there we go. Nightcrawler down. Alright, so that was my final fight for this war. It's pretty sad that I died. It was really sad that I died, actually. But you know, it seems like I'm going to have to, even though I'm not comfortable with Stark Spidey, not as comfortable at least, seems like I am going to have to go that route for taking out Dominoes now. I'm just going to have to, you know, practice up a little bit. Get comfortable with that. What I'd really like to do is I would like to get a bleed immune champion, preferably Sentinel or Dark Hawk, since they have class advantage against Dominoes, and I'm fighting a lot of Dominoes these days. And this way, if I pop an invulnerability boost, then I'll be bleed immune, and I know that I'm not going to suffer that critical bleed, and I'll be fine. So I'm tempted to try to go for Dark Hawk in the arena as a result, but in any case, guys, that's going to do it for this war. We did take the victory, so we're 3-0 this season. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.